Welcome to our session all about organizing your data to create more personal relationships. Before we get started, please be sure to base all of your purchase decisions based on products and services that are currently available to you today. And of course, thank you for being here. As a marketer myself, I know how busy you are, and it means a lot that you have come here to learn more and be better at your job. So I hope that you guys are taking in a lot over the next couple days and are that much better when you go back next week or Friday. My name's Megan Cohn. I'm a Senior Product Marketing Manager here at Salesforce, focused on our B2B marketing solutions. I've been here for almost 10 years. It'll be 10 years next month. So worked in various roles over that time. And I'm joined today by Dana Peterson. She is our lead specialist SE. She has over 15 years of experience in marketing automation, and she has spent the last 6 at Salesforce, and we've been very lucky to have her. She's going to demo some of the capabilities that I'm going to talk about today. So the key to personalization is the key to better customer relationships. 73% of customers expect a more personalized experience thanks to the advances in technology. Yet only 32% of marketers really feel comfortable delivering that experience given all of the data they have. And that's because we have a lot of data. The average marketer has over 10 different data sources to create a single customer experience. This is a lot different than it looked like 15 years ago when the main data sources were your marketing, your sales, and your service data. And it's great to have all this data, right? But what can we really do with it if you cannot connect it? The key to being able to use it to truly personalize the customer experience is connecting it across your marketing, your sales, your service, and your commerce teams. How many people here feel like they are doing a good job with that today? No. Okay, well, that's why you're here. I get it now. So the key to being able to create those experiences is that connected data, and it's not just within your organization or your company. You also need to be able to connect your third-party data, like your ERP data, accounting data, product usage data, things like that. And having all this data, it's not only going to help the connected customer experience, it's also going to help you as a marketer. It really underpins the marketing actions that power personalization. Another question, I'm keeping you guys active, it's 4 p.m. How many of you use generative AI right now to create emails, landing? Awesome, great. So having more rich data in a single under a single operational customer profile is going to help you be better at using your generative AI. It's also going to help you understand when your customers are most likely to engage, so you can personalize your send times. And probably most importantly, it's going to help you measure your ROI and your marketing impact on the business. And that, in turn, is going to tell you what segments you should spend more time on and which you should maybe deprioritize. And with Marketing Cloud Advanced Edition, you can do all of this. Advanced Edition is marketing automation built directly on the Salesforce platform, so you can connect your marketing, your sales, your service, and your commerce teams all in one space. And because it's built on Salesforce, you can take full advantage of Agentforce capabilities. So you can create multi-channel campaigns and then tie those efforts back to revenue. You can also use one data set to identify top accounts. So what this means is you can see exactly how your customers are engaging with your commerce team, your service team, and then take those most qualified leads to your sales teams. And then, of course, leverage one workflow across all of your revenue teams so you can really get a complete view of your buyer and how they're engaging with your brand. And I feel like we need a drum roll in between those slides. All account engagement customers have access to these innovations today. And we're doing this by creating one environment for both account engagement and growth in advanced customers, so you can just work in one space. We're keeping all of this data connected so that it passes back and forth seamlessly between the two applications. And then we're also making it easier for you to reuse your content. So the content you create in account engagement is going to be there in growth and advanced and vice versa. All right, so we've talked about why this is important, but now how do you actually leverage data to create those personalized experiences? And I'm going to go through 3 main areas where we're going to focus on, but Dana is really going to pay this off with a demo. So the first is surprise, get your data in order. Whenever you have your Salesforce and non-Salesforce data all under one operational customer profile, it really helps you personalize the experience, but the strong data foundation is truly the key. So level set, that is the first thing you want to do. And then if data is the foundation, segmentation is really the backbone. It's the very next thing you do once you have your data in order. And typically this has been very manual for marketers, right? But now with generative AI, we're able to serve up prompts and really create segments using our natural language prompts. So we're really saving hours of time creating our segments. And we're able to take it one step further with segment creation, which Dana is going to demo for us today. And that really allows you to build truly complex segments based on all of your data. So you can target customers based on a sales opportunity status, or advertising, or your marketing engagement, any of the sort. It really is very powerful. All right, and finally, leverage your dynamic content. So I want to talk about this in the context of 3 features today that Dana is going to cover. But these 3 features really similar to segment creation, like once you have all of your data in order, you're able to get that much more personalized with your content creation. So these 3 features really pay that off. We have cross-object merge fields, where you can create merge fields that pull data related to the operational customer profile. So instead of just creating an email and personalizing with a first name, you can now personalize it based on maybe a webinar that your customer attended or a product they interacted with. The next is rules-based dynamic content, and that allows you to create complex rules that allow you to display text and images based on customer attributes. Dana has a really good demo on this, and I'm very excited to show you that. And then the last is data graphs. And what this does is really defines how all of that data relates to one another. And that really allows you to become that much more personalized and targeted in your outreach. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to Dana to show you all about this.
Okay, great. Thanks, Megan. Everybody can hear me okay? Sounds like we're doing good here. We are going to walk through personalizing our experiences here within Marketing Cloud Advanced. And as we start today, I'm going to begin here on our homepage. And this is really your base for marketers. This is where we'll begin to create our campaign. And today we're going to create our campaign utilizing our marketing campaign agent. So I'm going to go ahead and wake up my agent here. And you can see I can put in a brief, I can create a campaign. I'm going to go ahead and just put in a prompt here for the type of campaign that I want to create. So we can think about, multiple types of campaigns that we could create here. Maybe this is a campaign that is focused on new leads. Maybe this is a campaign that's focused on engaging those customers that you have that are maybe a little less engaged. For today's example here, I am creating a campaign that's targeting both new and existing customers to promote a new product launch. So we have our prompt, and I'm going to go ahead and confirm that prompt, and our agent is going to begin to create our campaign for us here. And the first step in creating this campaign is my agent is going to create a campaign brief. And so here within the brief preview, we can see the brief name. So we have our campaign name here. We have our description of the campaign. And of course, that description is going to be what that prompt was that I created. And then we have a target segment. So our segment is going to create a targeted, or our agent is creating a targeted segment for us that's going to focus on that customer profile that we just created. And then our key message. So all of this is important because this is going to serve as several foundational aspects here for us to be able to come back to. So think about using this for maybe a little bit of that historical context. What type of a campaign was this? You can utilize that in the future. And then it also serves as a way to ground our AI. So again, as we continue to use our agent, as we're focusing on that agentic experience a little bit more, we have the ability to ground that agent so it continues to give us better and better results. So this looks great. I'm going to go ahead and confirm this here. And now the agent is going to take that brief and it's going to create my campaign. And once again, I'll confirm this. And as we go on here, it's going to fully give me the results of this established campaign. So we're about done here. I have my campaign preview. Once again, I could go through that campaign preview. I can also adjust this. So one thing to keep in mind is we always want to keep that human element in our campaign process, in our campaign creation. When we're utilizing agents, we want to make sure that we're giving that agent the ability to get to know us a little bit better, understand our marketing language, understand our goals, our objectives. So here you have your upvote and your downvote. And I could have upvoted or downvoted any part of this process here, but again, that's just a little bit more of a way for you as marketers to be able to interact and continue to build out the results that we'll see the more we utilize the agent. So confirming once again, and my campaign is really going to be built at this point. And so now I'm ready to move on to that next step. It's created my campaign, and I'm going to go ahead and pull up the structure of my overall campaign that's been created. So you can see that I've created several things here within this campaign. So I have a trigger, an established segment that we're going to focus on. I have content that's been created. So I have email that's been created. And then I also have a flow that's been created as well. So it's an entire campaign with content that we've created utilizing the agent. This is a huge time saver for marketers. This is going to be something that takes off that manual aspect that campaign creation can sometimes be and allows us to really do this in one kind of seamless process here, creating content. So I'm going to move on here now and we're going to look at our segment. And so I'm going to go ahead and focus on this segment that the agent has created for us here. And so with this segment, you'll see that it pulled over those attributes. So looking at leads, looking at account contacts, I can adjust this segment at any point in time. So I have my related attributes here. I have my direct attributes, the ability to pull data no matter where that data sits. We're pulling in multiple data sources, ingesting that data, and now I can, of course, segment utilizing that data. So as Megan mentioned, this gives us the ability to create pretty straightforward segmentations like this, or also really complex segmentations. I'm also going to add on here city and just that spelling. And that's going to allow me to maybe pull over a city here and get a little bit more targeted. So I'm going to utilize my unified profile and we'll focus on Chicago. And now I have added yet another target to my segment. So let's take a look at what this looks like if we're creating a segment maybe one-off. So this is essentially pulling the curtain back and looking at what this may look like behind the scenes. So once again, I have the ability to create a segment using Einstein. So you could do this outside of that campaign creation. Our agent campaign creator made that segment for us. But if I want to create my own campaign segment, I can very easily do that. And using that same process, so I'm once again just going to tell it, I want to focus on leads, customers, and they've been engaged in the last year. So as I prompt that, it's going to think about what I'm asking for, leads and customers that are engaged within the last 12 months, and it's going to create this segment. So once again, if we're thinking about these complex segments, you can quickly and easily feed in those prompts and create that targeted audience. So really easy, takes away some of the complex processes that you can have in place with creating segmentation in a more manual way. And so now we'll see that result of our segment, and it's going to be very similar to what we just had in place, but just kind of utilizing that segment creator. So we're going to go ahead and move on and look at the email that has been created for us utilizing our campaign agent. So here we are in our email builder, and this is going to be an email builder that is going to be a drag and drop builder, really focused on, of course, ease of use, allowing you to be able to build out reusable campaign templates. When our agents built this template, it's coming in and it's creating a messaging for us. We're going to now personalize that a little bit further. So Megan had mentioned the ability to personalize using merge fields. So merge fields, pretty standard personalization here with a first name personalization, but because we're able to tap into cross-object merge fields, that now allows you to, again, look at that full spectrum of data that you have. So maybe we're wanting to mention something like a ticket number that someone may have open or a case number. Maybe we're focused again on an event that they've attended. All of that is very easy to now pull into our email content, be able to personalize that a lot further. Previously, we were only able to do that with leads and contacts. This now opens it up to, again, utilize all of those data points that you may have. So let's think a little bit about dynamic content. It sounds like I know that personalization seemed to be a little bit of a struggle when Megan was asking the audience this. So dynamic content, creating those rules-based dynamic content. This is what we want to think about when maybe we have multiple rules, multiple ways that we want to think about personalizing our email. I've built out an email here that's going to be focused on a rule that is really looking at our high value prospects. So we're looking at leads, and these leads have converted to an opportunity. We're once again focused on leads here in Chicago, and they also have specific roles, specific job titles. So it's a pretty personalized and customized rule here. And so at this point, now what we're doing is we're changing that content. So that content is now going to be specific to that group. That content is going to be focused on inviting that high value prospect group to a lunch here that would be a little bit more catered to them. This is, of course, also available for you to change out things like images, subject lines, pre-headers, so the ability to utilize your dynamic content in multiple places. Let's also pull in some branding here so we can make this email a little bit more exciting, have it pop a little bit. We're utilizing our branding center. So creating branding components that you can easily pull into your emails that are established branding components that you can continue to utilize and build out. And again, I just did that really simply, and now we have this email that is personalized, and the email itself looks much better than it did previously. Another thing to mention here before we move on is my agent has followed me over to look at to my email. So if I were to go back out to my first page that I was on here, my agent is within the email. So I know it sounded like a lot of folks were saying that you do use Gen AI today. That will be the case here within the email content builder. That agent is going to be here within the email builder. So I can see it's right there. I can click on that agent. So for all of you that are utilizing that Gen AI today, you can continue to do that with that agent that would then be here within the email builder. And last but not least, let's take a look at the flow that was created for us. So here we are within Flow Builder, and within Flow, we're really focused on bringing it all together within a journey for our customers, for our leads. And I have a couple of options here within this flow to really focus on personalization, but of course, when we're talking about using Flow Builder, highly, highly personalized. We have a lot of ways that we can now pull in data that's going to be specific to the individuals that you're reaching out to. You know, again, whether that is leads, whether that is existing customers. In this example, we're looking initially at an email engagement decision. So are they engaging with our email? Yes or no? Pretty standard. Really thinking about highlighting those individuals that are engaging, making sure that we take them down a path that is going to be customized, maybe different content, different cadence, really focused on those engaged individuals. And those that are less engaged, we want to continue to engage with them too. So once again, maybe content that's slightly different for those individuals. And at some point, if we're maybe not seeing that engagement, we could move them to another type of flow that might be focused on re-engagement. I have at the bottom here a channel preference also to really think about. We also want to make sure that we're marketing to our customers, to our leads and prospects, where they're most likely to engage. So putting in a channel preference like this that is focused on, are they engaging in SMS? Are they engaging in email? Let's kind of do an A/B testing to determine what channel is better for them. And once we determine SMS versus email, that's where we'll continue to move forward with our engagement for those individuals. And as marketers, that's also going to be a big impact for you all when you think about that engagement, especially for email. So we want to make sure that we're getting those high engagement metrics to increase delivery, to keep our reputations intact for our domains and our IPs. Highly, highly important here. So with that, we've walked through creating our targeted audience. We have personalized our email messaging and personalized our outreach through those preferred methods of communication. And I'll turn it back over to you, Megan.
Awesome. Thank you, Dana. And just to wrap up, do you want to go back to our slide? Awesome. Just wrapped up, key takeaways from today: creating that one unified customer profile across your Salesforce and your non-Salesforce data is the base for everything that you saw in this demo. Utilize AI to create more complex segments. You can save so much time doing this, and with Marketing Cloud Advanced, we give you those tools to be able to do that. And then leveraging your dynamic content to even get more personalized with your customer experience. So thank you all for being here today. We would love if you could give us some feedback on Agentforce for Marketing. We are giving away $50 gift cards to 20 lucky winners. So we would appreciate your feedback that you have about our product. And then be sure to check out the Marketing Cloud keynote tomorrow at 10 a.m. You may see some of the innovations that we talked about today in there. And then check out our Future of Marketing Cloud roadmap session tomorrow at 2:30. Thanks. Have a good rest of your day.